Conversations about money can be difficult. After all, many of us have made financial mistakes, or maybe we wonder how we stack up to everyone else when it comes to our savings. But it doesn't have to be a taboo topic. Joining us now to discuss it is Gary Mattson, Laurel Stewart, the father-daughter team at Mattson Financial Services, a firm that's been helping people retire successfully right here in West Michigan for decades. You can also catch them on their popular radio show, Money Mentors. Gary, Laurel, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Talking about money
yes.
can sometimes be tough, right? What are some of the toughest conversations you guys hear?
I think the first one is, have I saved enough? What does that look like? A lot of people are shy usually to make that first call because they don't know if they have. But the reality we see is that they have saved enough and maybe more, and they need that clarity to give them that financial freedom. Oh,
that's got to be a nice thing to hear, right? Calling up and they're saying, wait, I do have enough saved? Does that happen?
Actually, it happens more times than it doesn't. Huh. In fact, we've seen people relief and actually cry.
I was a part of that meeting I'm thinking of,
hysterically laughing, or look at each other and go, when are we going? When are we going? Because maybe we should go this summer because we want to do this, this, and this. So it's really a nice, comforting way to let people know, black and white, here's how the plan works, and then they can have confidence in that plan to understand it. And so they know that it's not emotional, it's all business-based, it's factual, and they're going to have a great stress-free retirement.
It might be a tough thing for them to do because they're coming into the financial experts and they might have some skeletons in their closet. Like they have to admit that they might have made the, that investment in Ginsu knives or whatever it was.
Right.
That financial mistake, that they've made. You hear that too, I suppose.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that everybody's got a closet. And so we don't worry about that. We're worried about where you're at today. Let's not repeat those mistakes, and let's put you on the wealth of having a path that your income's going to be there no matter what the markets do, and you're not going to run out of money. Then when you have those two definitely set in place, and as life goes on, then you're going to want to bequeath assets to children and grandchildren. And so we want to make sure that they're in a position to receive those assets in the best way possible and not have a tax problem or a tax time bomb or giving money at the wrong time that harms them.
And now you just mentioned bequeathing, which obviously means you're talking with family.
Yes.
Family's involved here and who's going to get the dollars. So those can be extra tricky.
Yeah.
Those can be a little tricky. So how do you work around those conversations, especially when you're talking about someone? I mean, you're talking about not being around anymore, and that can be a tough talk.
Yeah, and I think, that's a really important piece for us. Obviously, we're family. And so talking about that with other family members and just coming from an educational perspective, we understand that it can be tough to discuss that dad's no longer here anymore. But if we share this clarity now, when dad does pass, I know that things are happening, there are plans in place, and I can be there to mourn and be present, rather than thinking about all these other decisions that need to be made, talking with who and who. It's a lot. So we're there every step of the way with those clients and kids as well.
That's a beautiful thing, a little stress-free relief. That's what we're looking for. And I'm sure our viewers have had tough conversations with their own families about this. It's nice to know that a fiduciary is there waiting for us, and the fiduciary is an important key, really, to who's taking care of your money.
Yeah, in our world, the fiduciary term means that we're not going to just talk about the good, we're going to show you the bad of every type of choice you have.
Red marker on our boards.
Yeah. We want you to understand the negative of what happens when it's bad. Is that going to still fit you and what's going on? It's always nice to say the good things, but let's make sure we deal with the bad things, because if we prepare for the worst, it's easy to accept the best. And so let's do that. Let's put your plan together so it's ironclad, so you know exactly what's going to happen when things happen along life's way.
Every time we talk, I'm impressed with the passion that you guys feel for your clients. It really does come across. That you really aren't just babysitting the money, you're managing the money, you're actively involved there and trying to do what's best for them, to give them the retirement they deserve. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Our pleasure.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
And I know that you do have a great offer to tell our viewers about as well.
For the first 5 callers, if you're getting ready to retire or already retired, it's an opportunity, especially if family conversation is on the top of that list and you're not sure how to go about it. You can give us a call. We will find a time with you to meet with one of our advisors, complimentary, and start going through that. It's going to take several conversations, but we're happy to be along that journey with you.
That's a beautiful point. You don't have to have that talk alone.
Right.
You could have a financial advisor with you. What a great offer, by the way. You want some more information on this? You want to start that conversation about your retirement concerns? Take advantage of a good special offer from Mattson Financial. Gary, Laurel, the team at Mattson Financial want to sit down with you to do a complete evaluation of your financial outlook and develop a comprehensive retirement plan to get you where you deserve to be, living your dream retirement. So don't let this offer pass. It's available, as I mentioned, complimentary to the first 5 callers today. So secure that spot and call now, 616-514-3831. That number again, 616-514-3831.